Good afternoon. My name is Tatiana Zumba, and I am a world language teacher. I teach grades pre-K through 8th, and this upcoming school year will be my third year as a teacher. The videos that we had to watch really touched me personally because, I'm going to start with my personal experience outside of school and then an experience at school. I feel like universal design for learning is very, very, very important nowadays, especially because of the amount of students we have with different disabilities and different learning techniques, strategies that they need in order to learn. When I became a teacher, I honestly I didn't think I would be working with special needs students or with different learning diversities. I thought that you needed a special education certification for that. So when I went into the school that I work in, they didn't tell me like, okay, this class has an IEP here, or this LDS class, this student is more severe than the other. Like, they didn't say anything. I was basically just thrown into these different settings with different students, and I kind of had to work my way through finding techniques, strategies, and all these different ways to help them learn something and get something out of my world language class. Last year was actually I had to face a new challenge, and I kind of overthought and I doubted myself at first because it was my first time ever working with a pre-K class, and on top of that, all my students had autism and they were nonverbal. So walking into that class, I was like, I was second guessing, because I'm like, I want to give the best of me. I want to teach these students, but I didn't feel like I was prepared for it. But thankfully, after taking my other classes, also speaking to my clinical supervisor and the help that she gave me, I was able to achieve a lot. Even though, when you work with autistic kids, the progress it's not, at first it's kind of minimal, but you see it because it takes time to see that progress. With them, out of the 10, 8 of them were nonverbal, and 2 of them could speak. And what I did was engagement. I feel like engagement is very important in order to know what your students' interests are, because once you know their interests, then you work from there. Because if you know that they like, for example, looking at pictures, visuals, YouTube videos, it makes it easier because you are able to capture their attention more, which is what I saw in them. I was like, okay, we're not going to be able to, write words and stuff like that. I'm not going to be able to hear them repeating when I tell them the words. So let's do something that they all like, which I found it to help with their engagement was watching YouTube videos. So I would find lessons, like, for example, there was 2 lessons that they really enjoyed. They loved head, shoulders, knees, and toes in Spanish, which is good because we were learning body parts, cabeza, hombros, rodillas, y pies, and they loved it because they were also hands-on with it. They would get up, they would touch their heads, they would show me these parts of the bodies as I said it to them. Of course, it wasn't on the first try or the second try. It took us at least 2 months of watching the video for them to actually, start being able to show me these body parts. They also enjoyed, I found a song that spoke about the family members, mom, dad, grandma, grandpa, brother, and sister, which they really loved as well. And when we were also learning other parts of the body, I found a music video as well where they were able to dance around, move around, which is something that they really enjoy. So I feel like engagement is really important when working with diverse students, because if you don't catch their attention, then they're going to be bored. They're not going to be paying attention to the lesson. And I've been learning like so many new things and new strategies of how to, help my students, because it's learning a new language. It's not easy, but it makes me very happy to see that they at least grasp one or two words, and once they see me and get comfortable, when they see me come in the door, some of them, slowly but surely, they'll be able to say hola or adios, and it makes me happy. Maybe they're not learning everything that I'm teaching, for example, my kindergarten class and all the vocabulary, but I know that they're getting something out of it, and it makes me very happy to see that, because like I said, their progress is slowly but surely. And every time I saw that one or two of them were slowly starting to talk and sing or anything like that, it just made me really happy, because I'm like, this is what we're here for, to help them learn, to nurture their brains, especially with like a new language, which is just very like fulfilling. So that was my barrier, but I overcame it, and I'm happy with what I do. I'm happy that I'm learning all these new techniques, all these different ways of teaching, because like they said, at the end of the day, everyone learns differently, and it's okay. And it's nice to like be able to have all these different learning methods in a class that everyone could be involved. So if you don't like to see visuals, you could write or you could draw, and it's very nice to be able to teach everyone something in the way that they want to learn it. When I watched the two videos about designing a universal home that fits everyone, it touched me a lot, because it's something that I'm going through personally. So my grandmother, who is 92, she had to leave her apartment in Queens, New York, because it wasn't livable. It wasn't livable for her at this point of her age. Thankfully, she doesn't rely on a wheelchair. She's able to go to the bathroom on her own and stuff like that. But her home is too small for her, in the sense of now she can't really lift her foot up to get into her bathtub. She needs an open bathtub, which, when you live in an apartment, that's not really, you can't just go and change that. Also, she needs her walker, because she can't walk so steady on her own anymore, or with a cane. And it's like her apartment is so small that you can't fit a walker. And it's not adaptable for her, which really, it breaks my heart, because it's like they said in the video, you have to leave your home where you have all your memories, when this is what you know, to go into a new setting that's new to you, and adapt, which is hard, because it's like you're not living alone. You have to share this with other people, rely on other people, and it's just hard, because I wish that we all had the money, and we're able to make our homes adaptable for our needs. And that's why I'm just like, it really like touched me, because it's so hard, especially when you're so close to someone like I am to my grandma. I feel like we made so many memories in her apartment. She lived there for 40 plus years. It's all she knows. And to have to just get up and leave and go share a room with someone at a nursing home, it's not easy. It hasn't been easy at all to see her there, but sometimes there's no other options. So yeah, that's about it. Thank you so much. I look forward to learning a lot of new things in this class, and have a great day.